The iPhone 10 in 2022. It's the X factor. Hi everyone, this is JD, your gadget review friend. Welcome back to GadgetRevNow. iPhone 10 is still one of my favorite phones despite almost 5 years old. You might remember some of the mania that surrounds the iPhone 10 when it was first released. It was November 2017, the first edge-to-edge iPhone design. It was such a leap forward that Apple skipped the iPhone 9, going straight from iPhone 8 to iPhone 10. Although it's 5 years old now, iPhone 10 can still be a great phone if you're on a budget and looking for an iPhone that still looks and feels modern. So today, let's talk about the things that we like, the things that we hate, and our recommendations. First, let's talk about the things that we like, and the first thing is the iconic notch. Looking at the front of the screen, it looks like iPhone 11 and 12. I know people are complaining how Apple should remove this, and it may get removed on the next iPhone 14 Pro, but right now iPhone 10 sports the iconic design of the newer iPhones. In fact, it started with this iPhone, and although the consumers has mixed feelings about this, we honestly grew with this look, and almost every single iPhone users are accustomed to this kind of design. And talking about the notch, the front screen, the next reason will be the awesome OLED screen. It has Super Retina OLED with HDR10 and Dolby Vision with a max brightness of 625 nits. I think even the newer XR or SE still has LCD panel, so this having the OLED screen is something to cheer about. It has deep blacks, great color reproduction, the screen is eye candy. The next thing we like about this phone is the decent performance, although the A10 Bionics is a little bit aging now. If used by people who don't use much for heavy use and mostly for socials and internet, this might be a more suitable phone for them. This is still a snappy performer for those types of lifestyle, and I don't recommend anyone to upgrade if that's the sole intention of your upgrade. This is still a decent performing phone. The next thing we love about this phone is the decent camera and 4K recording. A few months back, I compared this phone to iPhone 13, and in a well-lit situation, it performs similar to the latest iPhone in good lighting conditions. You can also record videos in cinematic 24, regular 30, and up to 60 frames per second. For a phone that is 5 years old, it's a nice feature to have if you're considering buying one and will shoot high-resolution videos. Next is Face ID, and although I admit I like fingerprint more, this became the more consistent approach of Apple over time. It's been like 5 years now and people are still using Face Unlock, and a lot of apps are still using this as a way of protecting their user logins. So in a way, we're all accustomed to this type of protection, and this might be a good reason for anyone to buy this phone. It has the same unlocking features as the newer iPhones. The next reason to like this phone is the wireless charging. I believe that wireless charging is the future, and if that day comes, iPhone 10 will support this technology. Better yet, this phone can be charged by either lightning cable or wireless, so you have options if you have Qi wireless charging laying around your house. Next is the remaining software updates considering the price. I think you can buy this phone more or less $200, and considering this phone will still update for the next 2 years, maybe 2 or more major OS upgrade, I consider this phone a steal. Okay, so not everyone are into cameras, and honestly not everyone are into games, but almost everyone wants their phone protected and can support newer apps, the fluidity of the system. This phone, aside from a decent performing internals, will still cover 2 more years, and that's the support some Android manufacturer will give on their new 2022 phones or even less. And lastly, the great build and protection. This is the same protection as the more expensive Pro and Pro Max version, Gorilla Glass and stainless steel frame. The regular iPhones only receive aluminum frame, and the stainless steel is reserved for the more costly Pro versions, so imagine your iPhone 10 have the same durability. So there are plenty of reasons why you should love this phone in 2022. Next, let's talk about the things that we hate. First is the battery life. It's good, but it's not great. I mean, if you're using the newer iPhone 11 to 13, obviously iPhone 10 isn't as good as the newer iPhone. In fact, in my usage, somehow it's closer to the iPhone 8, registering around 5 hours. That isn't bad, but considering many iPhone 10 in use market almost need to have their battery replaced, you might find the battery life even shorter. The next reason is there's no night shot on the camera. So the camera is good and there's 4K recording, but the photos and videos are only as good as the other iPhone in good lighting condition. Once the light source is gone, the image quality goes down significantly. It's almost like all the night images are unusable, so that's one challenge about this iPhone. The next thing is the aging pill-shaped camera design. So all newer iPhones basically has this big square camera module, and the back camera design is a little outdated, so just something to bear in mind. Not a deal breaker, but something you might want to know. And the last thing that we hate about this iPhone is the 64GB base storage. It will be filled out quickly in 2022. Few apps installed, few pictures, and few 4K recordings, and that 64GB is gone. You may need to resort to monthly iCloud storage, which will make you pay even more. So these are the challenges of having this phone, but overall not a deal breaker considering how cheap this is. And lastly, recommendations. This is a great option for those people who wants to join the Apple ecosystem and wanted the edge-to-edge design of the newer iPhones. I will not recommend this to people who wants to use this for a long time beginning now. Updates may discontinued after 2 years, and the camera isn't good for low light if you're planning to shoot night photography. And I will recommend this to anyone who wants an iPhone notch look with OLED screen, who wants a phone that has premium build and is still run the latest firmware. iPhone 10 is a great bargain. With probably one of the lowest price you can find on an iPhone that looks similar to the newer iPhones with almost the same design, just disregard the pill-shaped camera. iPhone 10 is a great choice in 2022. It's the X factor. And there you go. Hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.